There's a moment that nobody films. And it's not the jump. It's not the drop. It's not the scream or the wind or the rush that people replay in slow motion. It's the moment after, when your feet are back on solid ground and when your body stops shaking and when the adrenaline drains out of your system and all that's left is choice. That's the part that nobody claps for. And that's the part where most people disappear. Because once the moment passes, and once the spike fades, and once the comments they slow down, and once the attention moves on, you're left alone with the work. No witnesses, no soundtrack, no validation, just repetition, just discipline, and just the quiet decision to do it again. This episode lives there. Not in the jump, but in the return. Not in the spike, but in the stack. Not in the noise, but in the system. I want to say this clearly. Before we go any further, I'm not here to motivate you. Motivation is unreliable. It shows up when it feels like it, and it disappears the moment that boredom walks into the room. I'm here to talk about what actually builds things, what survives, and what compounds. Because the truth is, most people don't fail because they aren't talented. They fail because they can't tolerate the middle. There's a lie baked into how success is marketed. It tells you the story goes like this: inspiration, courage, leap, win, clean, cinematic, shareable. But real building doesn't move in a straight line. It loops over and over. The same actions, the same routines, the same voice, and the same choice made again tomorrow, next week, next month, next year. That's the part nobody wants to post. Nobody wants to show the day they uploaded and nothing happened. Nobody wants to talk about the week that they worked and the numbers barely moved. And nobody celebrates the stretch where progress is real but invisible. Because it doesn't feel like winning. It feels boring. It feels repetitive. It feels quiet. And the world has trained us to mistake quiet for failure. But quiet is where the systems are built. I'll tell you something personal. And I want you to listen closely, not emotionally, but structurally. A few weeks ago, this YouTube channel was sitting at about 9,500 total views. No fireworks, no viral headline, no overnight miracle. Just daily uploads. Same cadence, same voice, same message. Today, that same channel has crossed 40,000 views. Nothing dramatic changed. No reinvention, no pivot, no trend chasing panic. The only difference was and is consistency. That's it. The system didn't get louder, it got tighter. And this is important because I don't want you chasing moments. I want you building momentum. Let's talk about adrenaline. Adrenaline is a spark. It's powerful. It's visceral. It wakes you up. But adrenaline only and alone by itself is just chaos. It burns hot. Oh, it burns fast. And if you don't contain it, it burns you. Structure is the container. And structure is what tells the energy where to go. Structure is what turns emotion into output. And structure is what keeps you showing up when the feeling disappears. Energy without structure burns out. And structure without energy never even starts. You need both. That's the mythos here. The jump is the energy. The system is the architecture. People see the jump and they think that's the work. And it's not. The work is everything that happens before and after the prep, the repetition, the rebuild, the decision to do it again tomorrow when nobody's watching. This is why shorts alone don't build legacies. They spark interest, but long form builds trust. That's why this podcast exists. And if you're listening to this on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, you're inside the other half of the system. The part that doesn't fit into 30 seconds. The part that requires attention instead of impulse. Short form brings people to the door, and long form decides who stays. We're in season 3 now already. Season 3. Episode 5. That matters. Season 1 is exploration. Season 2, that's where ignition lives. And season 3 is architecture. This is episode 5 of Soul Plus Systems. Not the beginning, not the finale, the middle, the place where identity locks in. And by this point, you're no longer guessing who you are. You're refining how you move. And you're no longer asking, can I do this? You're asking, can I sustain this? And that's a different question. And that question separates creators from the builders, talkers from architects, tourists from residents. Season 3 is where systems stop being theoretical and they get lived. I want to talk about receipts, but not the kind people flex. I'm not interested in screenshots or inflated claims. I'm interested in process receipts, daily uploads, consistent voice, same tone whether the views spike or they stall, same commitment whether the room is full or empty. That's the kind of proof that compounds. Because here's the thing that nobody tells you. Momentum doesn't feel like momentum while it's forming. It feels like routine. It feels like repetition. It feels like doing the same thing again while wondering if anyone even notices. And then one day you look back at the numbers have moved. Not because you forced them, but because you stayed. Every system needs a myth. Not a fantasy, but a framework that tells the truth in symbolic language. And here's ours. The wolf doesn't perform for applause. The wolf moves because it must. The den isn't flashy. It's functional. It protects. It sustains. And the wolf doesn't hunt every single day because it feels inspired. It hunts because survival demands rhythm. And that's what this is. It's not content. It's not hustle. It's a den built piece by piece and day by day. Not for everyone. For those who understand that freedom is structured, not chaotic. If you're here for fireworks, this probably isn't your show. If you need constant validation, this will feel uncomfortable. But if you're building something real, something that has to survive boredom, doubt, and quiet stretches, you are in the right place. This is what the middle sounds like. And this is what the system feels like. And this is the part that nobody claps for. And this is the part that decides everything. Season 3, Episode 5. Still building, still stacking, still here. Welcome to the den.